Hello everybody, how's everyone there? Ame Gakita. Alright, today we are going to discuss about the situation about Eilene, or more likely to be one of the original of the Vtuber scene. Well, in the past it was known as a YouTuber because like Vtuber wasn't a word. So yeah, she is actually or he actually behind the scene. Is that Eilene's son is actually one of the technically a VTuber that is not really fully well known, but well known in a way that she, behind the scene, more like the one behind the scene. And the funny thing is, right, the video Eilene first upload was actually in 2014, like around nearing 10 years ago. And in a way, yes, she is also debuted long before Kitsuna Ai. So the thing is, right, the question we despite talking about all these things, what should we know about the situation? Well, the question we have to ask ourselves, or maybe we have to ask like put up the skill for now. Like normally I have not asked you guys to put up the skill, so yeah, we have to take out the skill to see who is right, who is wrong. So the question we have to ask ourselves for today is actually, is Eilene's-san the scammer or the scam? So what does it mean? Well, the thing is, right, it's actually in regards to a company that was apparently created by Eilene, which have a group of talents that actually kind of like some of them decided to just cancel the contract along that line, and then they go along their separate way and became a thing. And the company, even till now, she had created one is technically a H Live, which is technically a adult virtual talent. Yes, when he said adult virtual, it means that's the kind of situation. So the thing is, right, this it's not just more about H Live or whatsoever, but it's more towards the point that she had been like she is technically one of the pioneers in VTubing. So when she come out and put up a statement, like she actually put up a statement that seems very deeming, because the thing is that when you got a message from one of the most important VTuber on earth, yeah, it really begs the question, like the thing is, you will be asking yourself like, what the hell is happening? Well, the thing is, she had put up a statement where indicating that Eilene's-san decided to almost take her own some people say it's he, some people say she, so I'm not sure, because I'm gonna just say that the one life. And I mean, like when you talk about taking your you want to off yourself, it's really a huge red flag. So it's really like wondering like what is happening behind the scene. Well, when you go and take a look at her full story, there is quite interesting point where, in a nutshell, she also kind of like apparently posts a lot in Chinese to indicate her words, because tries to defend herself. So the thing is, right, apparently she was scammed, or one had been scammed by a person from China. And again, when you say a Chinese guy scamming you, yeah, it's a really like a lot of people will definitely say, oh, it's China. There is a lot of people from China who is a scammer. Yes, based on my experience, there is quite a lot of scammer in China, but I would also argue, for me who live in Japan for 6 years, I have seen my fair share of scammer in Japan as well. So when people, like, even when people say, is it really pure Japanese doing scamming? Yes, it is pure Japanese people doing scam in Japan. So it is a thing that is quite a few scammer in Japan. It's just that using just because the person is from China, you try to say, oh, it's a China people, they are scamming. I'm just gonna give a benefit of doubt based on that. I'm just gonna say that in this case, I will not think that using a person race is the best course of action opinion to be used, that the person is a scammer. Or I mean, like, yes, there's quite a huge fair bit of scammer from China. I mean, like, anyone who is from China will definitely know how many scammers there are in China. But the thing is, right, it really begs the question like how legit the scammer is. Well, and why I say that is Eilene the scammer or is Eilene being scammed? Well, the thing is, right, based on a huge Uno reverse situation and the video created by FalseSun or FalseEyeD, he actually created a video where he spoke to two sides of the coin and kind of like want people know more what is happening behind the scene. So I will put out the video link to the description below so you guys can check it out to see the whole situation. There is quite a lot of people kind of like talking about it and kind of like having saying like the reverse Uno with the interview reviewing that the two sides of the coin, which kind of interesting because the video also got Japanese subtitles, so it does help to escalate to Japanese viewers if they need to. ただそのビデオは日本語がありますので日本語でじゃなくて日本のセリフがありますからそれはもう誰か正しいか誰かスキャムか分かりませんからだから自分の判断でやってみよう。I mean like it's really a moment where you have to read both sides of the coin. Often more than not when I say look at both sides of the coin, it's really sometimes it's not about the right side or the wrong side but mostly in the coin itself. So in this case, the coin we have to put up in the middle in the scale is actually in regards to the agency itself, where it really kind of interesting is that the China guys indicating that the situation stemmed from Eilene-san throwing a lot of things at him without explaining anything, and the money he's not even getting. He basically worked for free for 15 months, and he couldn't get any money because Japan doesn't give the overseas transmission from Japan to China or China vice versa is a bit iffy. So that is really a questionable situation. Like it's really like what the heck. I mean like if no for a person who know about international money transmission, I guess it is understandable because when it comes to overseas when you transfer money, tax does play a little bit fair part of it, especially when it's come to payment or salary or these things. So it is understandable. In regards to that, we have to see when they give out their own statement, because the thing is, right, the China guy actually put out quite a few strong evidence indicating that he was being scammed by Eilene, whereas in Eilene's statement, Eilene had also put out statement indicating that Eilene was scammed by the China people. So the thing is, right, both are pointing finger at like they are pointing finger at each other, and you kind of like wondering who is not in the right, who is in the wrong. Quite a lot of people is actually defending Eilene-san, and considering that even Eilene-san have indication that Eilene-san have to take medication and or pill for anxiety or panic attack, whatever that is, and when it comes to mental health situation, it is understandable. But on the other hand, like I mentioned, it can be from how I look at the whole situation, I know a lot of people will be trying to defend Eilene-san. I know normally you want to defend one of the original VTuber, but then again, when you look at the other side of the coin, when you understand the whole situation, it seems a little bit strange when the China guy actually have strong evidence to back up his claim. And the timeline does seems to improve that the China guy is correct in a way, but again we need to wait for more evidence shown by Eilene-san, because the thing is, right, Eilene-san really is more putting out a statement than with the evidence. So the only thing I can only hope is that based on more time, hopefully we'll get to see more evidence based on, because the thing is it's just all statement, there is no evidence. It's really hard to know who is right, who is wrong, whereas the China guy in Force video had put out apparently some evidence to indicate some of the things, and it's really hard to know who is right and who is wrong, so it's really questionable. To me, I would say the coin is in regards to the agency itself. That is the question, and the question in line again, like I mentioned, is the adult VTuber things, the Vtuber talents agency. So it was created in 2020, so it is a questionable thing about the whole situation. So we have to wait and see for more evidence or how the story play out. But based on evidence, I feel like both may have a little bit in the wrong, because the thing is, right, when a person decided to just take end their life and start throwing like, how to say, statement after statement without unless there is like no evidence to prove her point, then I can't say anything. But the evidence put out forward by Eilene, I'm not saying that is fake, don't get me wrong. The guy did prove that, but the thing is, right, the guy also indicating proof that the other party take everything out of context, Edison taking every single thing out of context. So it's like, okay, we have to give benefit of doubt. But the thing is, again, like I mentioned, they want to take the whole situation into court. They want to put into a situation, and in this situation, I believe the issue we have to stand from is which country court are we going to place it on. If it's on China, probably the China will be having the winning situation, but whereas in Japan, then there is a Japan situation. So it's really hard to know for this situation which court would be where the case would be held on. It's very, very questionable. But on the other hand, with the evidence point out by both sides, it's really, really hard to know who is really the right and who is the wrong. Which is the reason why I say we have to point it back to the coin itself. And the coin, again, like I mentioned, is more towards the selling of the Vtuber agency H Life. And the issues stem from there, and I feel like it may be due to miscommunication issue, or because it's overseas situation that caused everything to happen here, there, everywhere. But again, when it comes to overseas business, I personally think it's a very high risk situation. And I mean, like, anyone who knows Eilene Sun of the past will definitely understand. I'm not trying to defame her, Eilene Sun or whatsoever. It's more that anyone who knows Eilene Sun very well will definitely understand that there's a bit iffy on that side. It's more towards the point of that you have to point out. It's more towards the. I'm not saying that Eilene Sun is the portrait, the mastermind or whatsoever. It's just that everything just seems to line out a little bit too iffy for me. There is quite a few points that doesn't seem to click with me. I'm not saying it rubbed me the wrong way or whatsoever. It just doesn't click with me yet. I need to wait for more evidence to understand more of the thing. Unless there is like the lawyer saying that some of the evidence can't be put out, then I can see why. And I only wish to know personally is that the statement put out by the China guy, is it really true? I mean, the contract has to be true, because there is indication of the contract need to be placed out. In the Twitter post, there is indication of the contract hoping to place out. But the thing is, right, there's still a lot of things that we still do not know. We still a lot of things that we still have to wait and see. It's just a he say she say situation. So it's really a whole new questionable thing. Is it who is right, who is the wrong? And considering that, when I was looking at FalseEyeD video, I mean, like, when people put in the comment indicating a huge Uno or pulling the Uno reverse, it is really understandable to see why there is like the side of the story from the China guy as well as the side of the story of Eilene Sun, and it's really get me to question like the legitimacy of the statement that created by Eilene Sun. Like, it really made me question, because the whole thing, when I was reading it, it really seemed a little bit iffy. But I'm not saying it's wrong. I may be also in the wrong for considering it too iffy. But the thing is, right, the reason why I said a few part that is a little bit iffy is that the value of the company is a little bit too high. I mean, there are cases where people overestimate their value of the company, which is not wrong. And second thing is that apparently there's not much research done into the China guy before selling off the company, and then the failure of the handling of the situation for the company, it seems to cause a lot of questionable things. So we are the only thing I feel like I can give my take will be until when the contract between the both of them is out. If there is no contract but all is above, I mean like if everything is just a burger or just an email here, email there, then the question we have to ask is like, can we have a look at the email or the Discord chat or you should ever mean of communication to indicate that, to prove the contract was done legitimate, like legally. Because the thing is, right, if everything is not done correctly or there's no legal document to indicate a passing of from company to company, then that is when things can run south for both sides. Because the thing is, right, when you come to cost proceeding, any document is considered a legal document, but when there is no document or everything is just by verbal, it will be just easily thrown out of the window. It will just mean that both sides are in the wrong and that this is not a case to be able to handle even by court proceeding in the first place. So it's really, from how I look at it, it seems very questionable on both sides. I mean, like, both got a huge point, fair point. But when one of the person, and inside in this case, is using mental health as leverage, it beg the question about the legitimacy of the document, because a lot of people may not be aware. When you come to court proceeding, if one want to give a statement, the person will be fight against that. They can use like the person is need got mental health as a situation to counter and imbalance. So the thing is, right, that the China guy can also even go to the point that the other party, or at least in this case, got mental health situation that can cause the person to have skill, like come up with real reasoning or whatsoever, or come up with what was the word again, hallucination. I don't know the word. I'm so bad at so many English words. But the thing is that it just basically coming out with terms that is not true, basically, and it got a lot of people to some people to rethink about who is it Eilene is in the right. I mean, like, although you guys may see the word that I might have liked that, but I just needed to kind of like bookmark myself to that page to see what is it, the whole case situation. A lot of things is still very iffy. We still have to see more into it, but whether will they indicate more, we'll have to see in future. But I feel like my take for now would definitely be there is a case of the quite a lot of money being put out. I mean, like, almost 2 million Japanese yen that is not paid. That is a huge sum of money though, which is the reason why the whole drama start. And when it involved one of the original VTuber, yeah, it really begged the question like, who is really right, who is really the wrong, especially when there is a situation between a person from different, I mean even though I don't really want to use like one is from China, one is from China, it's just going back to the point that China people don't like Japan or Japan don't like China. It's like, it's really bad to like, this will be involved in the country versus country situation, and I really want to avoid that. But in this point of time, I will put up 3 points for you guys to, before I end everything, is that number one, scammer does not differentiate by country or gender. Meaning to say that as much as there is a lot of scammer in China, there is also a fair share of scammer in Japan. So I want everyone to take that into the first consideration. Number two, there is still no indication of the contract situation indicating by both sides yet. While there are evidence to prove by both end indication, we still have yet to see the full the content of the contract act. So we have to wait and see, and we have to based on the contract, if it's a verbal one, we will have to all throw it out the window. Because the thing is, right, unless there is evident indication by both and indicating such contract was done verbally. Any document that is by Discord, email, or messaging, we can be considered as indication, but the legitimacy of those documents will depend on the proceeding of the messaging or everything. We have to take that into consideration. So at the time of this recording, I do not see any of them, so I will not give any take on that yet. And the last point again, I want everyone to take note that both had shown very strong emotion in their argument. So the best way we have to take it is that although we have to be very, very partial, we have to ensure that all document and information is in the right form, in the right situation. But I would and people to like before you write in the comment below or you want to look more into it, is to ensure that we are to ensure give the benefit of doubt to both sides of the coin. We should not be taking just because one is the original creator of the VTuber scene or one of the pioneer to be exact, or one is considered like a lot of like working for free or whatever. It's like we have to look at all sides accordingly, and we have to look at both partial. It's who is the true victim in this situation. Again, from based on everything, the side of the coin itself that we are going to scale on both sides is the sale of the VTuber agency. There is the China side, there is the Chinese man side, there is also Eilene side. So it's really iffy from both ends. There is a lot of questionable point to put out on both ends. But the one thing I would like everyone to understand is that it's really something that is more towards on who seems to be correct more. At the time of this, I would say the evidence put out by the China guy seems strong. It seemed very, very strong from how I look at it. But we have to also point out that Eilene Sun's statement does point out some point that the China guy was wrong apparently. So while the China guy did also kind of like counter argument some of the claim given by Eilene Sun, but it also doesn't mean that the China guy might be trying to defend himself accordingly. So we have to see how it goes, see how it planned out. But at the time, if I'm being put up the skill, like I mentioned, the 3 point that I mentioned is too hard to indicate who is right, who is wrong. We may have to swift and give a wait and see approach for this whole situation. But I would like everyone to not start attacking anyone for now. Give it a wait and see approach. See how the situation from both ends talk about their story. Hopefully that FalseEyeD will give more story and to explain what's the whole situation is, and hopefully we'll understand more in the future. FalseEyeD did put up 2 videos in case you guys are wondering. So although I only show one of them, I will put out whatever link that I know in the description below, so you guys can check them out to understand more. But anyway, with that being said, just write in the comment below if you guys got any comment or any thought or opinion about the whole situation. Do you think that who is the true scammer? Is it just a whole thing of a miscommunication? I do not know. Just write in the comment below and we will discuss it further. With that being said, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe for more random chat where I talk about stuff that never follow a single trend. But with that being said, hope you guys all have a nice day or night. Bye.